What is important is when we do planning is to understand which department does what and who they report to. Hello everyone, welcome back to Imparables. This is episode 9 of season number 3 to start your business. And you're starting your business, you're an entrepreneur, you are a startup, or you just want to organize your business that you already have. This podcast is for you. What are we going to be looking at today is about our org chart, organizational chart, and how that works and why it's important in your company, in your enterprise, in your business. So before we start deep in there, I want you to share. Please, the content is really original. I want you to give us thumbs up, subscribe, to ask any questions that you have in the end of the video. So let's start. So first, what is first? It's like, what is an organizational chart? And its name comes by itself. It's a chart. Right? But why is important? Because the organizational chart, it gives you, of course, the organization of your company, but it gives everybody of your team and your talent exactly the detailed structure of how the company is laid out. So who's the boss of who does what, when, and how all these parts of your company play together. What is important is when we do planning is to understand which department does what and who they report to. And that's why it's so important what organizational chart is. So how do we start making organizational chart? Right? First, you have to define the roles of the people working with you. If you don't have roles, if you don't have this job description, they don't know what to expect and they don't know what it's supposed to do. So that is really actually big, this subject about what org chart is. But the most important that we have to understand that it is designed to everybody know their roles and everybody knows who reports to and what they do in their job. If they have that clear and you have that clear, the expectations that are going to be put or set into the job or the project will be actually met and you'll be able to evaluate and to measure. Remember, we cannot manage when we cannot measure. So you cannot measure anybody or someone that they don't know what they have to do. How do we start creating one, right? So how we start creating one is to know who is who and who does what, right? Like for example, if you are a solo entrepreneur, maybe you wear all the hats. You do the work, you are the CEO, you do the marketing, you do the sales, you do the operations, you do the finance. Maybe you are all these hats, right? You are in charge of all of this. As you are expanding, as your business is growing, you're going to have to put people in those places so your business becomes scalable, right? So it's really important that even if you don't have people and you're a sole entrepreneur, you create an organizational chart of how things are supposed to be. Why is that important? Because if you create an organizational chart, right? For example, I am the CEO, then we have the marketing director, then we have the sales director, we have the operational manager, and we have the finance director or the CFO, right? You have already a chart that you know where to go when your business starts expanding. Right? In the beginning, if you're an entrepreneur or a startup, you wear all the hats. You are all these leaders of all these departments. As you are growing, as your company starts being more successful, delegation is key and is super important to put the right people in the right place. So what I'll do, first and all, I write my functions. I write my job description, which is what do I do and what is required for me to do to perform the project or to get the revenue. So it's really, really important to just start with yourself as a CEO, as a owner of the company, and then to put these areas as the company is growing. One of the things that comes a lot with business owners is how do I make, if I don't have, right, I have somebody that have a restaurant, or you have somebody that have a construction company, you have someone that actually have a design company, right, or you just do signs. is and then you work with your wife, or you just have 3 people working with you. One of the most important things is to sit down with each one and define the roles. If you work with your significant other, that is super important. It's really super important who does what. Because if no, other conflicts start being created, and that could be the downside of your business. Most likely the downside of the business is not actually the business itself, but it's the interrelation of the conflict that exists between the parties which is working on the business. So one of the things that I give you, you already have a team, sit down with them and create a job description first. So what do you do? This is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you're required to do. Right? So once you know what you're required to do and what is your position to do, you're holding accountable to them of what they wrote, not to you, to that paper that they say, this is what am I going to do. So it's super important, if you don't have this org chart, do it with a person that is in front of you, right? Because now that you are growing, you need to know what he's expected to do or she's expected to do in that position. So now he honors that position, he works for that position of what he wrote he's supposed to do and what you paid him from. So when they start not doing that, he's actually faulting into the roles and the responsibilities that he assigned to himself or to herself in the time that you create the org chart and the roles. Once you have this your org chart, all the positions, just put it in the chart. When you have all the roles and all the job descriptions, put it in the chart, who goes where, who reports to who, and then you have a laid out tree, right? Like a family tree, a real organizational chart that actually works for your company. And then every company is different, right? Now everybody's going to have a finance. Now everybody's going to have a marketing department. Maybe you outsource marketing. Maybe you outsource sales, right? But it's important that you have and you understand where your company is going. One of the really secrets that I do to people when they don't have nobody to help them and they are full of work, but they don't know how to expand, is use your organizational chart. What is the position that you want? Now, do we have the revenue? Do we have the income to fill up the position? No. So we make the income to fill up the position and then we hire that. You know, many people start making money, start buying new things. That's called reinvesting in your business. You're reinvesting in allocating those funds to the position that you need in order that your business can expand and you don't have to be wearing those hats. Remember, the point of every business is that you enjoy yourself more in the business run by itself. But while you're still being the key person risk, that is never going to happen. So one of the really important points about organizational charts is that prevents the business owner, more when we're just starting, more if you are an immigrant, more if you have a different idea about business, of being the key person risk, right? What I mean with that is like if you are not there, does your business is still working? Your business is still running? If the answer is not, you need to put more people in place to actually hold that business and that engine is keep running and keeps running and keep working and make that expanse and grow by itself. Most important that makes organizational chart is to be real. Making sure it's real. Making sure when you go and you look at those things, you actually see something completely real, and I'm saying that again, to your reality, to your situation, to your business, right? If you have any questions about organizational chart, or how that works, or how you can incorporate it to your business, please leave the comments below. Send us an email or a text message. We're more than happy to actually answer all of them personally. I read them and I answer them, but we are waiting for you. So check it out in your company. Go sit down with your business partner, with your wife, or you are starting. Check it out and make sure you have that basis really set. That was all for this episode of Imparables. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you in the next one.